Hi, this is Hans. I was able to stabilize some more footage from John Graf on these tandem orbs, and it seems like it's becoming more amazing. He captured this footage in Long Beach, California on March 2nd, 2017. I wanted to show you a comparison of what these orbs look like next to planes. We really have to move beyond deciding whether or not these are planes. There is no need to struggle with this mentally. The footage is close enough and the resolution from his Canon camera is good enough to visually distinguish what you are observing. You're going to have to believe your eyes on this one because this one is as real as it gets. You cannot fill in the blanks. The only logical explanation for what you're seeing is a couple of orbs flying in tandem. You cannot change the facts. I also want people to know that these are not unidentified. They are identified as speeding orbs. It's kind of like seeing a car from a distance. Now you'll know that it's a car, but you might not be able to distinguish the make and model. The difference in this video is like a car and a moving truck pulling jet skis. Now, if this was captured at night, it would probably be considered unidentified. The technical name for this is Velocivoid Argenteus diffusimus, or VAD. It's swift moving like a velociraptor, it's ovoid in shape, and you can tell it's silver, and it leaves a trail. So the question is, are these extraterrestrial or man-made? We just have to figure out who made it. So in the meantime, let's take a closer look at the VAD. I wanted to guesstimate the approximate length. Now this is what I call a technical guesstimate. Just know that there's minimal theoretical information here. You have to take this with a big grain of salt. The assumptions here are off the chart. So I looked up one of the more common airplanes used for chemtrails. That led me to the Boeing 777LR, which has the length of 209 feet. Now chemtrails, once they exit the vehicle, they maintain a certain amount of uniformity. That's why they look like lines, at least for a little while until they expand. I call it the initial expansion point. After the initial expansion point, the lines begin to not only expand, but they begin to distort. So what I did was to take a picture of the chemtrail plane, assuming that it's a Boeing 777 at 209 feet in length. I measured the plane in pixels and multiplied the pixels by 10, basically 10 times the length of the plane. I then went to the end of the plane and tacked on this number. I figured this is a fair amount of distance from the back of the plane to measure a consistent initial expansion point. Then I measured the width of the chemtrail. It turns out the initial expansion point at 10 times the vehicle's length is about 100 feet wide. I then took a picture of the VAD and reverse engineered this process and found out the vehicle is approximately 80 to 100 feet in length, about half the length of a Boeing 777. At this length, I suspect that if it was man-made, it would be hard to store without being noticed. So now that I know the length of the vehicle, I could take it one step farther and measure the speed. I used a timer to track the distance it traveled in seconds and found out that it was traveling approximately 920 miles per hour. That's Mach 1.2 or twice the speed of a Boeing 777. Now, why is it traveling at this speed and why does it look the way it looks? I have no idea. Is it mimicking what we consider normal behavior so that we don't give it a second thought if we see it flying in our sky? I don't know, but it's an interesting concept. I found out that John Graf's footage was captured with his Canon PowerShot SX150 at 12 times optical zoom. So this footage was captured at a very close distance. The footage you see with the chemtrail plane was from my Panasonic V520 at 80 times iZoom. So you cannot say that it's too hard to tell that it's not a plane due to distance. Because if it was a plane, you would see a tubular formation with wings and a tail. He captured this at a closer distance with higher resolution. This is not magic. This is science. I just want to let people know this is not CGI. I think people who do CGI can tell that this is not CGI. Our group actually hates people who intentionally falsify UFO sightings because they set us back and make people cynical about what we do and what we believe. Next time you're outside and have a camera, try to capture a VAD yourself. I recommend that you watch this footage again. I really think that it's prolific footage and shouldn't surprise anyone who knew that this was the truth. It's just good to have this captured on video so that you could see with your own eyes. A questioning mind is a powerful thing, but we must maintain an open mind. Sometimes people hold a core belief that is very strong. When they are presented with evidence that works against their belief, the new evidence cannot be accepted. It would create a feeling that is extremely uncomfortable called cognitive dissonance. And because it is so important to protect their core belief, they will rationalize, ignore, and deny anything that doesn't fit into their core belief. A lot of people fall into this thing called ignorance fallacy. This is the refusal to argue or accept any evidence. These are the closed-minded cynical. They've already made up their mind. They are unwilling to debate the subject because the subject matter is closed. I think those who say people are unready for the truth or unprepared for the truth are wrong. I think people are ready for the truth. Maybe cynical behavior is due to immaturity. When should you tell a child the truth about Santa Claus? Are we telling people information that they're not ready to accept? Well, in my book, the truth will always be the truth, even if no one believes it. So there you have it, a small piece of the truth. Please go to LA UFO channel on meetup.com and sign up so you'll be notified when the next event will be happening. I want to thank everyone for watching, and I'll see you next time.